Hi folks, 2019 question B3 here, and the question says the image on the right shows the entrance structure to the Pillow Hotel in County Meath. It comprises a series of plain or glass surfaces, and then it goes on to say figure B3 shows the plan elevation of two of the surfaces A and B. The surfaces are identical and the plan is constructed on a square grid as shown. Part A. Draw the plan elevation of the intersecting planes A and B. Well, I've gone ahead and done that, folks. There was absolutely nothing to that. Part B. Determine the dihedral angle between the planes A and B. So what you want to identify there, first of all, as usual, is the line of intersection between the planes. And this is it here. That's where the two planes are joined. Second thing we want to do is we want to look in at that and we want to get a true length of that line. So if you set up your set squares there, and we're going to project up here, looking in perpendicularly, an auxiliary view of that. Now I'm going to want to bring 1 point from each plane, so I'm just going to bring it up along the same line, and we'll set up our XY line over here. Now, new view, one view's back, two views back. This is where we're getting our heights from. So I'm going to call these 2 points here S and T, and they're on the ground there. They have no height, okay? So they'll appear here. And then this guy's on the ground here. If we want to call it point 1, and point 2 has a height there of 60 mil. So we mark that off there. So we'll call them 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Now, drawing our true length line. Okay, and we're going to take one more auxiliary now, and we're going to look along this line, because one of the key principles of drawing tells us that if you want to see a plane's an edge view, you must have a true length line and look along it. And because this true length line is common to both planes, we'll be able to see both planes as an edge view. And we'll set in x2, y2. Now, new view, one view's back, two views back. And you always know you're measuring from the right xy line because it's parallel to the line that's common between the two planes, okay? And also from that, that means that point 2 and point 1 are the same distance. So if I get my compass there, I'll mark that off. Because they're the same distance, that means it must end up with a point view. If you measure from anywhere else, you get two different lengths, and you will be looking at a line, not a point view. So that's the point view we want. The other 2 points we need to measure back for, and I'm just going to extend on my projection line there. The other 2 lines I want is S and T. Give me T. And that'll give me S there. And that, folks, is our dihedral angle. Now, part C says project an auxiliary elevation of plane A on the x1, y1 line. And that has been set up for us in plan view, partially. So I'll do that now. And it says, hence determine and indicate in degrees the inclination of plane A to the horizontal plane. Okay, so in our X1, Y1 line there. Now this guy's on the ground here. And again, the very tip top of that, you know the height. We can mark that off. And that is an edge view of plane A, okay? So what we need to do now is get our protractor. I'll just extend that on so I can read it. This protractor is pretty big. And I make it there to be 104. And that is part C done. And now for the last part, part D, laser lighting is used to enhance the entrance to the hotel at night. The indicated straight line PQ represents the path of a laser beam. Determine the points of intersection on the line PQ with the planes A and B. So basically, where exactly is that cutting both of those planes when the light is shining, okay? So a couple of different ways of doing that that come to mind. So one would be, if we talk about plane B, okay, we can see the laser line cut in plan view. It crosses the top line there of the plane, okay? And it also crosses it down here at the bottom, okay? In plan view, it appears that way. So if we were to bring up a line, and I'll call that point 3, I could get point 3 up here in elevation. If I was to bring it up there to the ground, we call this guy 4. That would get me 4 there. And what I could do then is I could join in 3 to 4. And where it crosses the line would give me the point. Okay, so that's where it crosses point B on that specific point. And don't forget to drop that point back down to plan then. So we'll just put an arrow in there to highlight that. So that's the points where it crosses plane B. For A, an alternative, you could do the exact same thing, but an alternative would be if you had an edge view of the surface A. And as luck would have it, we do here on the right hand side, okay? So if I was just to bring P and Q into this auxiliary that I set up a while ago, if I bring P over here, and I could bring Q up here, I know Q is 60 above. I have his height from elevation there. I could recreate that laser beam in my auxiliary. And I would see exactly where it crosses the plane there. And what I'll do then is I'll just bring that back down into plan view. I'll just put an arrow on that. So that gives me the point in plan view. And then if I bring him up then to the elevation, that is where he will cross it in elevation. So 2 different ways of doing that. So that's that question finished, folks. I hope you found it useful. Take care. More videos to come. Stay safe.